Alright, you guys, buenos dias, que paso? Welcome back to the channel, John's Moto Garage. I'm finally going to bring you a kind of first ride impressions on the Kawasaki 636. Picked this bike up a couple weeks ago. This video is going to be, like I said, kind of my first ride impressions. Now, this isn't the first time I've been on the bike. I've ridden it a handful of times, but it's always been at night. And the big issues I've had so far is I keep losing pressure in my brake lines. I've bled and flushed them multiple times. And so... So anyway, I'm still working on getting that dialed in, and because I've been having that issue, I haven't actually been able to start learning how to use the handbrake. But quick walk around. This is a 2013 Kawasaki 636. I picked it up from a dude, Alex, who had it set up ready for the stunts. The dude actually stunted the bike, so it does have some bumps and bruises, but it's got the cage, it's got the setup on the rear, it's got adjustable rear sets, it's got the handbrake, dual caliper, all that set up good to go. It's already got the fairing cut. I do need to get a subframe, and someday, if I ever get to where I can scrape, that'd be cool to get the little titanium plate. It's got a larger sprocket on the rear, and I think those are the big things. Oh, and then it's got the clip-ons. I think those are the big things that it has as far as for the stunt game. So I'm going to jump on and ride it. I've been having a lot of fun on the bike so far. Again, big thing is just figuring out how to get these brakes dialed in. I keep losing pressure, which happens on most of my bikes. Once I start doing wheelies, you get air in the line or something. Usually though, once I bleed and or flush them and put fresh fluid in, I usually end up not having any issues. But on this bike, it's kind of recurring so far. So I'm not sure what the problem is. I've reached out to a couple people and we're troubleshooting it. So we'll see. So when I first got the bike, I was starting out just first gear because first gear is super aggressive. I figured if I can start and kind of figure it out in first gear, then bumping up to second and third gear shouldn't be an issue. Let me make sure I turn on the fan there. There we go. It's wicked hot here in Arizona. One of the reasons I went out and bought this bike is because I love doing the wheelies, and it's a blast on the Harley, and I'm getting more comfortable on the Harley. But a few months ago, I mentioned in a video I was kind of itching to get on a sport bike again, and this is kind of the best of both worlds. You get the speed, and then also as a stunt bike, it opens up a lot more options. It gives you a lot more versatility in the stunt game. If I ever want to learn the circles, if I ever want to learn stoppies, which are things that I do want to learn, you can do it on this bike. With the Harley, you've got the drifts, you've got the wheelies, the hand drags, you know, the 12 o'clocks, the scrapers, and all that stuff, but there's no stoppies on that. Circle wheelies for me, definitely not going to happen anytime soon. So it's just one more challenge, and it's just another, you know, another thing to mess around with. All right, I'm tempted. We'll just kind of mess around, start getting comfortable here. So one thing with this handbrake, I've been trying to get used to keeping my middle finger on the brake lever, but like I said, I keep losing pressure on it, so I haven't actually been able to use it yet. Hopefully that guy's not going to mind me riding out here. So we'll try a few in first. And just like with all the bikes, that stoppie felt pretty good. Just like with all the bikes, in the beginning, you're just getting used to the bike, man. That's half the battle right there. This one is no different. Balance point is way farther back than you ever expect it to be. Seems to be the case with all these bikes. But again, first gear is pretty aggressive, and so if I figure out first gear, you know, bumping it into second and third shouldn't be an issue. And I've actually gotten to a point where second and third first and second stand-ups, I can get it going super slow, so I'm happy with that. There we go, slowing it down a little bit. And I love that I can mess around with stoppies, because even when I lose pressure on my rear brakes, the front brakes have been solid. Alright, so that gives you an idea. First and second gear, or that's first gear. Let's bump it up into second gear, go into a stand-up, and see what we can do, slowing it down. right, so I was slowly trying to get my foot off the rear brake and then use the handbrake, because you don't want to use the two at the same time. But whew, I'm gonna have to work my way into it. I think the key is gonna be chasing it initially while learning how to get that muscle memory for that rear handbrake. It's tough because when I come out in session, like on one hand I want to do a video and show you like here's the progress that I'm at, but on the other hand I want to just learn. And so that's kind of what this is as Dom89 puts it, it's a progression session, you know. So let me I'll do a second gear stand up and just really try to slow it down for you guys, show you what I'm talking about there. Oh, a little hot, a little hot. So yeah, you can. So I'm really getting to where I can slow it down, which I like, but still just getting acquainted with the bike, you know. Oh. But I'm nowhere near a point where I would feel like, you know, comfortable jumping off the seat or anything, and that's where the handbrake and all that comes in. All right, see, I don't even know, like, how do I go about starting to learn the handbrake? I don't even know. It just freaks me out. Just got to start practicing, I guess. Anyway, so yeah, it's definitely a different beast. And when I first came out to mess around on this, it took me a lot of work just getting used to and comfortable with the throttle and first gear and everything, because again, this thing's powerful. With the Harley, you're struggling to get it up on one wheel. With this bike, you're making sure you don't go too far. Some stoppies and maybe a couple wheelies, you know. It just gives you saved it. That's the scary thing. If you go fast and you lose it, you're done for. One thing that's for sure is I'm not in a rush. I'm not like competing against anybody or a timeline or anything, as far as like for learning certain tricks or how quickly I need to progress. And so, and I say that because when I come out and have these sessions, it's all fun, man. It's a lot of fun. It's like a kid on a bicycle learning to ride again, you know? And if I start to compare myself to others or try to like think about, you know, oh, look who's like progressing at a faster rate or anything. It sucks the fun right out of the game, and that's just not what it's about. So I'm just out here having fun, and it is. I just can't figure out So I don't know, there you guys have it. My first session, you know, officially on the channel on the bike. This thing's a blast, dude. It's a blast. You got to be careful with it. It's a lot different beast. It's a totally different beast compared to the Harley. And like I said, as far as progression and, you know, when I'm going to be doing anything, or if I ever will be doing anything crazy on this, it's just got to play it day by day, you know, because it's yeah, it's a dangerous game, you know. It's a stunt bike. I don't want to push myself with no good reason. So right now it's just have fun, ride it, progress at my own pace type deal. I would love to eventually learn all the cool tricks, but it'll come with time, you know. All right, you guys, John's Moto Garage. All right, we're gonna leave it at that. John's Moto Garage. First session on the 636. It's a blast. It's a fun bike. I'm excited about it. Once I get it dialed in, you know, we'll see what happens. We'll leave it at that for now. Like and subscribe if you dig it. I appreciate the support. We'll catch you next time. Adios. Nos vemos.